Alright, everybody. I'm back. That's right. Me and Sumari over here. Wow, it's been a minute, man. I know it's been a minute. I had to go incognito for a few months. I think it's been about 2 months since the last video. Yeah, I had to go deep undercover for a minute. Nah, let me just stop that. But anyway, yeah, this is the 63rd video, man. Sumari to everybody out there. I don't know what she's doing in this video because she was asleep. She sees me setting up everything to get a video going, and all of a sudden she wakes up. I guess she wanted some video time. Alright, Sumari, there you go. Oh, are you looking at me? You want to be on video? Well, let's say hello to everybody. Hold up. Oh, she's getting camera shy now. You see that? You're the one who wanted to be in this. But anyway. Yeah, man, I've been gone for a minute. Been going through some real deep shit, man, you know. Stuff that most people go through, most multidimensional beings have to go through while they're here in this reality. Let me see, I don't even know where to start, man, because I know it's been a while. But, yeah, a lot of people, let me just start off on this note. A lot of individuals, right, I see them going on the internet. Sometimes they contact me and they're like, well, why can't I see the Akashic Records? Because that's like a popular thing now, you know. So it's like, why can't I visit the Akashic Records? Why haven't I seen Atlantis? Why aren't angels talking to me? Why can't I get in contact with archangels? Why can't I get in contact with fairies? Why can't, you know, it's like all these questions on why you can't get in contact with certain entities. And it's like this. We all come from different places, man, you know. When we manifest here in this reality and we decide to come through here, we're not all coming from the same backgrounds. You know, some of us come, well, I'm going to get into that because there's an infinite number of other realities going on besides physical reality. So basically, everyone's trying to find, see, this is what happens, right? When we're in this physical reality, through time, a lot of individuals that came through here, as they begin to awaken and remember like who they are, basically what they are, they follow certain patterns that were accustomed to their own thought. So just say way back when, a lot of individuals, they saw fairies. That was popular back in the days. Now it's aliens. You don't even hear people talking about fairies anymore. Not really. Not like it used to be. And then people saw, you know, there's this whole bunch of shit, man, that people seen, a whole bunch of things. You get people talking about the Akashic Records. You got people talking about Atlantis. And the thing is, the reason you're not seeing all that is because maybe that's not meant for you. That's not where you're from. And that has no connection to you. Now, the reason I'm bringing all this up, right, is to go into the whole concept of your dream journals or diaries or whatever you want to call it. Documenting your experiences. Let me give you all a little hint right now. Or basically, I'm going to just tell you what that's all about. You know, it's nice. You get a dream journal or a diary or on the computer. You document things down. You write all these experiences you've had in other states of reality. But at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is this. That is your personal history. And if you investigate it enough, it's your personal background into what and where you're from. You see, because everyone is not going to see an Atlantis. Everyone's not going to meet Atlanteans. Everyone's not going to meet angels because everyone is not from those realms of reality. So you write down all this documentation, right? And if you study it the proper way, you will begin to see correlations to your own characteristics, your own personality, your own style. And from there, you'll be able to assess and see where you come from and where your background is from. Because your background is and will be 10 times more interested in any heaven or nirvana or Atlantis or Akashic Records or, you know, whatever people want to use. It's going to be more exciting than that. So all your years, if you've been doing it, if you haven't, you start now. All your years of documentation are basically showing you your inner reality of what's going on inside of you, what's going on outside of you, and basically there's just what's going on in reality itself in general. Because, you know, we look outwards and we perceive the state of our inner psyche. You know, we look outside, we see things that happen, and that gives us hints as to what's going on inside of us and what we think. And on top of that, we also have the inner reality. So a lot of us try to base ourselves, our characteristics, who we are as individuals, on the external. Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a teacher, I'm a rapper, I'm a hip hopper, I'm a rocker, I'm an emo, whatever, you know, whatever you want to go with. And they try to use that as the basis to justify who they are as a character, as an individual. But at the same time, you have this inner reality going on that most people just ignore. You know what makes me laugh, right? It's like, I've been meeting a lot of people recently, individuals who are starting to get into this stuff. A lot of them are still skeptical, and it's like, there's a few things that just make me laugh. Let me get started on them. One, when people say, well, you know, I'll be talking to someone, they'd be like, well, in the real world, this, and that happened. And I had this dream last night, this is what happened. And then there was the real world when I came back. And I'm like, you know, it is what it is, man. There is no real world, and then you got the dream world. I mean, I know we use those characteristics, those categories to try to label things, but there is no real world. Everything's just happening. You know? Everything is happening, and what makes you think that the dream world is no more real than this world? You know, it's amazing how basically we're in this so-called, I'm going to use these terms because this is what's common, but so-called awakened reality. We're only here for, you know, what, 12 hours out of the day, 15 maybe, I don't know, however long people stay up and live whatever their normal lives are. It varies. And then you go to bed, and if you're like me and many others, you cross over into another reality. And then you experience that reality. And when you're there, you don't remember anything about this side at all. You basically you completely forget this life 100%. Most people, unless you're conscious and you have that talent, like I do, and my other brothers and sisters. But most individuals go to bed, and they could dream about whatever fantasies that please them, and then from there then they come back and they remember briefly. If they're lucky, they might remember something, right? They might remember something of what they experienced in the other realms, but most people don't. And then they'll say, oh, well, that's not the real world. Well, wait a minute. When you were in this dream world, you were talking to dogs, you had, you know, all kind of just crazy shit going on, crazy by so-called normal standards. And you didn't remember anything about this side, and then when you come back over here, you go about your day, and you basically forget everything about the other side, the so-called dream world. So, what is real? What is not real? Everything's real. You know, reality is wherever your consciousness is focused at the time, or at the moment point. You know, if you're in a dream world, that's what you want to call it. Your words, not mine. But if you're in this other reality, and you're talking to a tree and having a full conversation with the tree about the ecosystem or climate change, and the tree is a comedian at the same time, and you're laughing, that's your reality at that moment, and it's real. And then when you come back over here, now you're in this reality, and now this is going to be real for you. So another point that makes me laugh is like, oh man, it's funny how so much, how much we focus on things that, oh man, I'm getting confused. I don't want to say this, man. I want to break this down. Got SUMARI here and it's throwing me off a bit. But anyway, it's like this, right? Check it. You'll tell somebody your experience. You'll be like, yeah, I had this out-of-body experience, or I traveled to the other reality. And then they'll argue with you and tell you, no, that's not real, you know, and depending on whatever their system of belief is, they'll tell you it's not real, that was a fantasy, blah, blah, blah. But then these same people will go and they'll get all hot and heated over something that's definitely, if you want to go by the standards of real and not real, it'll be some real bullshit. Like, I've seen people get more angry over debating on who's stronger, the Incredible Hulk or Iron Man, you know, or Superman versus the Hulk, or Batman versus Spider-Man, and all this shit, like comic books. And people go into full-blown debates about it. I mean, there's like blogs posted up on the internet where people literally have all-out battles. I mean, to the point where it even goes into racism, man, where people complain about and debate on which superhero is stronger than the next one. And I'm like, and then they'll turn around and they'll have their own dream experience and they'll be like, no, that wasn't real. But no, Batman's better, you know, whatever. Batman's stronger than this person, or that person has more powers. And or TV dramas, you know, people get into TV dramas and they argue over which character shouldn't have died this season and what it really means to be this character, what his true intentions were, and all this shit was basically made up. It's a manufactured dream, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, number one, it's coming from one person's mind, maybe a creative team, but it's usually coming from one creator's mind, and he puts this down on paper, and if he has the funds, you know, and the talent, he could get this going into a TV drama. We take that and we get obsessed over it as if it's an actual reality that's taking place. And the thing is, it is a reality taking place, because if he's manifesting this as the creator and putting it on TV, that means it was already taking place inside of his inner reality. And if it was an inner reality, that means it's already in existence. So this is why you might dream about these characters in these dramas, because they are real. Everything's real. That's the point I'm trying to make of this whole little rant, is that everything is real. Whatever you can imagine, it's real. The question is, what reality is it taking place in? And this is where people get confused at. People think because it's not taking place here in physical reality that it doesn't qualify under the category of real or realistic. In all actuality, everything is just happening right now, and everything is real. So before you start arguing over who's stronger, Superman or Thor or whatever, get just as heated over your own dreaming experiences, man. You know, your own realities, because that's where the real action is taking place. So let me see, what else has been going on, man? It's like, I just woke up, and you know me, I usually like to have things laid out and know what I'm gonna get into, but this isn't one of those videos, guys. This is just me waking up in bed and holding SUMARI and just talking about random things. But let's see, what else has been going on in this reality, man? It's just been a lot of shit, man. You know, I've been coming across a lot of people who, they're just now beginning to remember what they are. And there's a lot of doubt, quite naturally. You know, I mean, it's not easy to understand and know that you are a part of creation of all that is. And even more of a doubt to when no one's talking about this stuff. You know, like no one's really getting into this. A lot of people have been doing their thing, man. I want to give a shout out to one of my brothers on the internet, YouTube, Ampu Ra. What's up? You go on his page. It's under the title, I think it's a Freddie Imhotep, or just type in Ampu Ra, A-N-P-U-R-A, Ampu Ra. And basically what he's doing, he watched my videos and many others and got motivated through his own energy. And now he's doing his thing. He's making his videos. And what he's doing is, see, everyone has their own unique style. You know, he does his videos and he has a journal that he's had for a minute, and he goes back, he reads things from his journal and talks about his experiences. And over time, he'll grow from that as well. Everybody's on a journey, man. Everybody's on a journey. And everybody's trying to get down to figure out what exactly is going on. As for me, I already know what's going on, and then I don't at the same time. Because reality never ends. And that's the whole point. Like, there is no perfection. Someone asked me once, I told them in a mail that they were going through something. And I was like, well, you just gotta, I don't even remember exactly what I said, but basically I was like, you just gotta imagine yourself as, you know, one of the most powerful beings in creation. And this person wrote me back and they were like, well, why can't I just say that I am the most powerful being in creation? And, you know, hey, whatever gets you going if you want to say that. For me, like, I don't want to say I am the most powerful being in creation, because for me to claim to be the most powerful being in creation, that would mean stagnation at the same time. Like, if I'm the ultimate power and I have no rival, then that means there's no growth. And consciousness must express itself. It must grow. Even at the level that you think God is at, or a concept of all that is, even all that is itself is still training and still growing and still learning. It would never be complete. If you're thinking about all that is from human standards, from if you want to be a human and you want to think from that limited mind space, then yeah, the concept of all that is seems to be the ultimate power in creation. But since we are a part of all that is, and we're always learning new things, that means all that is also always learning new things as well. So, you know, you can say whatever you want, man. If you want to call yourself the ultimate God being, the Godhead, go ahead. But if you go with that type of belief system, it might prevent you from expanding even more, because every time you come up against something or concepts, you might say, well, it doesn't matter because I'm all powerful and I know everything. So there's no real point in trying to evolve anymore, because I have it all under, you know, I have all the answers, I know everything. Now I know it sounds contradicting, because I've said many times, and I'm not the only one, all the answers are within. And what does that really mean? All the answers are within. Does that mean I'm all omnipotent? Does that mean that I know everything? Yes and no. You know, and it's like, no, from the sense of you'll never know everything, because there's always going to be something new going on, and there's always going to be consciousness expressing itself in as many different ways as possible. So there's always going to be new information coming along. But at the same time, yes, you do know everything, because everything depends on what you want to believe. You know, so if you want to believe everything stops at heaven's doors or the gates, and that's where your reality ends at, then that's where your reality will end at. And then you could explore that and go into the heavenly realms and talk to angels and do all that stuff. But at some point you will get bored of that. And eternity, like, what is eternity? The concept of eternity, from a human perspective, is really difficult to grasp the concept of actual eternity. If you go at it from your true state, though, your multidimensional state, you'll be able to understand it more. Eternity is simply non-stop creation. You know, a lot of people, what does eternity mean? What does infinity mean? What does it mean to be immortal? All those concepts, immortality, infinity, eternity, basically just means, at least for me, an endless process of creation. Consciousness at its full capacity on an endless, non-stop level of creativity that goes on. It just never stops. So infinity means just non-stop creation. And, you know, everything grows, man. Like even Sumari here, you know, right now in this life, Sumari has chosen to take the form of a serpent. This is the form she wanted. This form wasn't thrown upon her. This form wasn't just given to her, you know, on a whim. This is what the consciousness she's working with, this is what she wanted to be. She wanted to be this serpent. And just like how we choose our realities before coming here, we choose our family members, we choose our circumstances, she chose her circumstances. And in this reality, she chose to end up with me, as opposed to another person. This was her reality. You know, she said, all right, I'm going to go into this reality, and when I manifest, you know, I'm going to end up with this crazy cool motherfucker who makes YouTube videos. That'll be me. But anyway, and you know, when her time comes, and I don't know when it is, you know, Sumari might decide to check out, I said this before, in her first video, she might decide to leave today. I might come home, Sumari's not moving, she's lifeless, she's dead. She decided to move on. Will I be sad? Of course. But no, you can't force anyone to stay in this reality if they really don't want to be. So if the Sumari decides to leave, then I'll know that was her choice to go. Right now, I think she's happy. Are you happy? Yeah, I think she's happy right now. But who knows what'll happen? You know, it's up to her. Just like it's up to all of us to be responsible, create our realities, try not to fuck people over too much, and well, not at all, really. You know. But yeah, concepts of like, what does it mean to be all powerful, man? What does it mean to say, you know, we say this stuff a lot. We walk around, yeah, I'm a multi-dimensional being, I have infinite powers, I have this, this, and that. But what does all this shit really mean, man? You know, I mean, saying it is one thing, but knowing it is another. And that's another video, man, that I might have to go into. But it's like, you could sit here and talk all the shit you want and claim to be all powerful, claim to be this, claim to be that, but do you believe it? Do you believe it, man? That's what it really comes down to. Because it's like, I see a lot of people talking about, oh yeah, I'm multidimensional, man, I'm powerful, power of God, power of all that is, I'm a creative being, I could do anything. And then they'll be like, oh man, I can't believe that motherfucker said that to me. He said, you know, whatever the argument is, he'll get into that. And it's like, well, wait a minute. You can't be an all-powerful being and then you're getting mad about some like dumb shit that somebody said to you. So, you know, it's like we got to get our priorities together. Now, if you're going to be multidimensional, you're multidimensional, man. I mean, what does that mean? It means basically you exist on all levels, man. Nothing, you can't let anything bother you, man. Nothing should be bothering you in life. You're supposed to be living day to day, having a good time, enjoying yourself, and helping others in the process to realize their power. That, you know, I'm not saying you got to walk around and be like Jesus, but speaking on Jesus, I mean, you see a lot of people, they're like, yeah, praise the Lord, power of Jesus Christ, all this shit. I mean, all right, why not be like Jesus then? You know, if you love Jesus that much, and you claim you're this Christian, Jesus is like, you know, the symbol of perfection, then why are more people not acting like Jesus? Why are they not going out, feeding the homeless, helping the poor, teaching, spreading the word? You know, people are not doing this stuff. They're just going to use the symbolism of Jesus to benefit whatever, you know, bullshit schemes they got going on, or to make themselves feel better. I'm not bashing the concept of Jesus, but I'm also not religious on that level. So they say, well, why not bash Jesus then if you're not religious? Because it's a symbolism, man. Yeah, I might not be a religious person on that level, but the intention is what is important. You know, I'll never judge anyone or anything on its aesthetic value. You know, I mean, it's the intention of what's important. You know, regardless of it's Jesus Christ, Muhammad, it doesn't matter what religion or whatever you want to claim to be, the intention is important. You know, if you're killing in the name of Jesus, then that's a lot of bullshit. And, you know, you're not holding up to what the image is meant to be. But if you're using the image of Jesus to help people and do positive things, then hey, go ahead. But, yeah, man, there's just so many things going on, man. You just gotta be free, man. Let it all go, man. Just let it all go. This is my month, this month. You know, I don't get into birthdays and shit because, you know, I'm multidimensional. But in terms of this reality's existence, October is the month that I've decided to be born into this reality, you know, many years ago. And my so-called birthday, which is basically the time that I was manifested into this reality, takes place this month. Am I happy? Of course I am. It's nice. It's my personal celebration of me existing and manifesting into this system, this reality system. But, yeah, make new goals for yourself, man. Make new goals. Let's, get more creative. Start being more creative in your life. A lot of people are feeling down, they're feeling negative, and that's because they're focusing on, like, bullshit, man. Everyone's out trying to get money. I'm not against money because, you know, we need money. In this reality, unfortunately, money is like the commerce, is what people need to get things going. But start taking your creativity into other areas, man, of thought. Like, don't just focus on money, money, money. Got to get that paper, got to get that money. Start seeing where your creativity lies. I hear a lot of people, right, they say, well, if you could do anything and I have the power of God. Why am I not a millionaire? See, there you go. There you go with that bullshit again, man. The power of creation, I mean, yeah, it could lead to money, but at the same time, like, that's not what it's all about. It's not about just using it to get money. Creating your own reality is not about just wealth and prestige, or, how do I say, materialistic things. See, because if you say, for example, well, if you have the power of all that is, and you're God, one of his various, what's the word, probabilities being manifest in flesh, then why can't I be a successful billionaire or a big-time movie star? Well, that's simple, because if that's your goal and it's not happening for you, you're not living up to the full creative capacity of all that is manifest in flesh. Basically, you're trying to live up to the standards of another person, Hollywood, or whatever that world takes place. A lot of people don't succeed in life because they're still trying to fit in with other people's standards. They want to fit in with other people's levels of creation. You know, if you want to be a Hollywood star, that's cool. I'm not against that. Do what you want to do. But at the same time, that means now you got to follow along these other standards. You got to get headshots done. You got to go to acting school maybe, or you got to have a natural talent. And even if you have all that stuff, you got all that shit. Let's say you're a genuine natural talent for acting. You can play many roles and personas. Now you got to get past the assholes at the studios and hope that they like you. And if they don't like you, for whatever reason, so if you say the wrong thing that they don't agree with, you don't get picked. So basically, you're at their whim. You know, you're basically at the whim of other people and whether or not they like you or not. Being creative and tapping into your own creativity is mostly about doing things that you feel are creative for yourself, whether or not if it makes money. It doesn't matter if it makes money or not. Just do something creative. Pick up the fucking guitar, pick up a flute, pick up a pen, start writing. It's all about you, man. What have you learned in this reality? A lot of people have learned nothing. And it's like, there's nothing to hide. I'll be 35 years old in this reality this month, right? I've been on this planet in this reality, and those of you who are astute enough to know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying. I've been in this reality for 35 years. 34, 35 in about a week. And it's like, I see other individuals who've been here much longer, who knows, 50, 60, 70, 80, and they demand all this respect. And I'm not getting into, you don't have to respect elders and all this stuff, but it's like, when you take this to a whole nother level, it goes beyond all of that. Because it's like, well, if we're going to respect people on the basis of just how long they've been here, then there are other individuals who've been here just as long and might not even look like, 70 years old, things like that. So we all have different ages. And age is really about how far you expand your mind. So there's a lot of individuals, they demand respect simply because they've been here for 50 years, 60 years. But what have you learned? What have you gained? Have you actually learned anything to share? How can you be in this reality for 50 years, 60 years, 40 years, whatever, and you still don't even know that you're not even human? You're not human. You're a multidimensional being. You have the ability to access infinite realms of power and creativity. But yet you want all this respect, and somebody half your age has discovered this already, and they're making moves with this information and helping others. But yet you want all this respect because you've been here for 50 years, but you haven't done shit. And when I say haven't done shit, I don't mean about, you went to a company, you graduated from this big university, and then you worked your job, and you put in 50, 40 years or whatever, and then you got a nice pension. That doesn't mean shit. I'm talking about you've been here all this time, but you haven't even learned about dreams and how important your dreams are, and that you have an inner reality, and that there's other dimensions of reality and all this other stuff. So it's like, who's more knowledgeable then? Who demands more respect? The person who hasn't done shit in 50 years, or the person who's, 15, who just discovered that all reality is simply an illusion? But I gotta cut this video because I don't want it to go over. This is me and Sumari chilling out. Sumari Dark Arts sitting over here. And who knows, maybe I'll make another video. But for now, this is the one you're going to get. And Sumari to everybody out there. Keep strong. Love you guys, you know. I love you. I love everybody, man. I love everything, man. You know, maybe not in the same level as an intimate source. But anyway, that's another story. Let me see. I think I still got some time. I might make another one. Let me take a minute, set this shit up, and then I'll come back. All right. Peace.